Madam Deputy Speaker, can I thank the Secretary of State for his revelation that the Sun newspaper is now the House journal of the Liberal Democrats. And it does him and the government no credit that their attitude to the Labour's price freeze has veered wildly, initially denouncing it as Marxist, which was a revelation to all Marx's disciples, and now misrepresenting it with a kind of patronising approach, which belies the fact that my right honourable friend and the leader of the Labour Party have been proved right all along on this policy, as they will be proved right in the future. But one of the best vehicles, Madam Deputy Speaker, for keeping prices, energy prices low is the Severn barrage, and I want to spend a few minutes talking about that. This huge infrastructure investment boost makes the Severn barrage, in my view, a no-brainer, not least because it requires no Treasury funding. The £25 billion construction cost would be financed entirely privately, mainly from sovereign wealth funds and other large-scale institutional investors, because they would have a guaranteed revenue stream over a period of 120 years or more. The project would create 20,000 jobs during its 9-year build, and with multiplier effects, another 30,000 jobs, making a total of 50,000 jobs and a 70 billion boost to the economy. Many of the jobs located in communities in South Wales and the southwest of England, which are crying out for such a boost of high-skill investment and high-skilled jobs. 80% of the spend would be in the United Kingdom, unlike wind power, where 80% is spent abroad, because countries like Germany and Norway have stolen a lead on wind turbine manufacture. The scheme would harness one of the world's largest potential sources of renewable energy, the huge tidal range of the Severn Estuary, the second highest in the world. Building an 18-kilometre barrage between Breen in England and Lavernock Point in Wales would be one of the world's largest privately funded global engineering projects.
Order. I reluctantly intervene on the honourable gentleman, but this debate is about energy prices, not necessarily energy generation from things like the barrage. So I need him to relate his comments to the impact on energy prices and control passing on reductions to the consumer. Peter Hay.
Deputy Speaker, I was about to do that, but I need, obviously, with your permission, to describe the project in order to do so, because, most important, the barrage would produce the cheapest electricity in the United Kingdom, half the cost of alternative sources such as gas, nuclear and coal, as well as other renewables. Previous consortia interested in taking forward this project have looked to a period of consumer subsidy lasting less than 25% of its life, very small compared with other renewables. But after that initial subsidy period, promoted by previous consortia backing the barrage, it would generate electricity at 20 megawatts per hour for at least a century, less than half the wholesale market prices which this economy has been used to. But the latest project backer, the investors in this project, actually do not want contract for difference support. And I do hope the Secretary of State will note this point, because I've discussed in meetings with him support for the barrage, which he's not been able to give. The latest project backer does not want the consumer subsidy of contracts for difference. So although the barrage has attracted widespread criticism from wildlife groups, it has considerable other benefits, Madam Deputy Speaker. Low electricity prices over its entire life if the current project is taken forward in this way. In addition, it would have important other effects in terms of the economy. The 1,026 turbines required, each the weight of a jumbo jet, would be built at 2 factories in the region, most probably at Port Talbot and Bristol. The planned caisson casting yard at Port Talbot Deepwater Docks could be afterwards converted into a port for ultra-large container ships. And what this would enable us to do is not just keep prices low, but to export the technology and expertise in tidal barrage construction around the world. So it's keeping prices low, which is what is desperately needed for consumers at the present time, and it's also supporting flood protection 90,000 properties would be supported, and 500 square kilometres of Wales in the southwest, including the Somerset levels, would be supported, and it would act as a barrier against storm surges. So prices would be kept low. There would be many, many other benefits coming from this project. And I hope, in conclusion, Madam Deputy Speaker, that given that it's the biggest single investment project coming from the private sector with no consumer subsidy needed at all, no contracts for differences support needed at all, according to the latest backer of this project, which I hope in time the government will meet. I hope that people will see it as something that should have been backed already, and that now all parties will back it as a main...
Order.